sweet now as it was before. Spirit of love, how quick and fresh art thou, that notwithstanding my capacity receiveth as the signatures here. Of what validity and pitch soever it falls into abatement and release. Even in a minute, so full of shapes is fancy that it alone is high fantastical.
Will you go hunt, my lord?
What will you?
The heart?
Oh, the noblest that I have. When mine eyes did see Olivia first, methought she purged the air of pestilence, and in that instant, as I turned into a heart, my desires, like fell and cruel hounds, essence pursued me. Oh, what news from her?
So please, my lord!
I might not be admitted. But from her handmaiden do return this message. The element itself, till 7 years' heat, shall not behold her face at ample hue, but like a cloistress she will veil and walk, and water once a day her chamber round with high-offending brine. All this to season a brother's dead love, which she would keep fresh and lasting in her remembrance.
She hath a heart that fine frame to pay a debt of love to a brother. How will she love when the rich golden shaft hath peered her flock of all affections out? Away before the sweet beds of flowers, love thoughts lie rich when canopy devours.
Should I do in Illyria? My brother, he's in Elysium, perchance he's not drowned. What think you, sailor?
It is perchance that you yourself were saved.
Oh, my poor brother, and so perchance may he be.
True, madam, and to comfort you with chance, assure yourself, after our ship did split, when you and those poor numbers saved with you hung on our driving boat, I saw your brother, most provident in peril, bind himself, courage and hope, both teaching him to practice, to a strong mast that lived upon the sea, where, like Arion on a dolphin's back, I saw him hold acquaintance with the waves for so long as I could see.
For saying so there's gold. My known escape unfolded to my hope, whereto thy speech serves for authority the like of him. Knowest thou this country?
Aye, well, madam, for I was bred and born not 3 hours' travel from this very place.
Who governs here?
A noble duke, in nature as in name.
Ooh, what's his name?
Orsino.
Orsino, I have heard my father name him. He was a bachelor then.
And is now, or was so very late. For about a month ago, I went from hence, then 'twas fresh and murmur. As you know, the little ones do, the great ones do, the less will prattle of. That he did seek the love of fair Olivia.
But she,
a virtuous maid, the daughter of a count that died some 12 months since. Then, leaving her in the protection of his son, her brother, whom shortly also died, whose love, they say, she hath endured the sight and company of men.
Oh, that I served that lady and might not be delivered to this world till I had made mine own occasion mellow what my estate is.
That were hard to compass, for she will admit no kind of suit. No, not the duke's.
There is a fair behavior in thee, captain, and though that nature with the beauteous wall doth have close and pollution, yet of thee I will believe thou hast a mind that sits with this thy fair and outward character. I prithee, and I'll pay thee bounteously. Conceal me what I am, and be my aid, for such a disguise as haply shall become the form of my intent. I will serve this duke. Thou shalt present me as a eunuch to him. It may be worth thy pains, for I can sing and speak to him in many sorts of music that will allow me very worth his service. What else we have to time I will commit, only shape thou thy silence to my wit.
Be you as eunuch, and your mute I'll be. When my tongue blabs, then let mine eyes not see.
Oh, thank thee. Lead me on.
For he is a jolly good fellow. I am sure cares an enemy to life.
By my trust, Sir Toby, you must come in earlier at night. Your cousin, my lady, takes great exceptions to your ill hours.
Why, let her accept before accepting.
Aye, but you must confine yourself within the modest limits of order.
Confine? I'll confine myself no finer than I am. These clothes be good enough to drink in, and be these boots too, and they be not, let them hang themselves in their own straps.
That quaffing and drinking will undo you. I have heard my lady talk of it yesterday, and of a foolish knight that you brought in one night here to be her wooer.
Oh, who, Sir Andrew Aguecheek?
Aye, he.
He's as tall a man as ever in Illyria.
What's that to the purpose?
Why, he has 3,000 ducats a year.
Aye, but he'll have but a year in all those ducats. He's a very fool and a prodigal.
Oh, fine that you'll say so. He plays the viol of the gamboys and speaks 3 or 4 languages, word for word, without a book, and hath all the good gifts of nature.
He hath indeed a most natural floor. Besides the fact that he's a fool, he's a great quarreler, and but that he hath the gift of a coward to allay the dust he hath in quarreling. 'Tis thought among the prudent he would sooner have the gift of a grave.
By this hand! They are scoundrels and subtractors that say so of him. Who are they?
They that add, moreover, he's drunk nightly in your company.
With drinking hands to my niece. I'll drink to my niece, so long as there's a passage in my throat, and drink in Illyria. He is a coward and a hoisticle that will not drink to my niece till his brains turn to the toe like a parish top. Ah! What a wench Castiliano will go, for here comes Sir Andrew. Thank you,
Sir Toby Bell! Sir Toby
Sir Andrew.
Bell! How fair shrew!
And you too, sir.
Well, accost, Sir Andrew, accost.
What's that?
Oh, my niece's chambermaid.
Good Mistress Cost.
My name is Mary, sir.
Good Mistress Mary Cost.
You mistake, Sir Knight. Accost is front her, court her, woo her, assail her.
By my troth, I would not undertake her in such company. Is that the meaning of a cost?
Very well, gentlemen.
And thou let part so, Sir Andrew, would thou mightst never draw sword again.
When you part so, fair mistress, I would I might never draw sword again. Fair lady, do you think you have fools in hand?
Sir, I have you not by the hand.
Mary, but you shall have, and here's my hand.
Now, sir, thought is free. I pray you bring your hand to the buttery bar and let it drink.
Wherefore, sweetheart? What's your jest?
It's dry, sir.
I should think so. I am not such an ass, but I can get my hand dry. But what's your jest?
A dry jest, sir.
Are you full of them?
I have them at my fingers' ends. Mary, now I let go your hand. I am barren.
Oh, knight, thou lackest a cup of canary. When did I see thee so put down?
Never in your life, I think, unless you see some canary put me down. Methinks sometimes I have no more wits than a Christian, or an ordinary man has. But I am a great eater of beef. I believe that does harm to my wit.
No question.
I thought that I'd forswear it. I'll ride home tomorrow, Sir Toby.
Oh, pourquoi, dear knight?
What is pourquoi? Do or not do? I would I had spent the time in tongues that I have in fencing, dancing, and bear baiting. Oh, had I but studied the art.
Oh, then hadst thou had an excellent head of hair.
Why would that have mended my hair?
Oh, past question, for thou seest it will not curl by nature.
It comes well enough, does it not?
Oh, excellent. It hangs like flax on a distaff. And I hope to see a young housewife take it between her legs and spin it on.
I'll home tomorrow, Sir Toby. Your niece will not see me, and if she do, it's 4 to 1 she'll none of me. The Count himself your hard by woos her.
Oh, she'll none of the Count. She'll not match above her degree, neither in estate, years, nor wisdom. I've heard her swear to it. Tut, there's life in it, man.
I'll stay a month longer. I am a fellow with the strangest mind in the world. I delight in masks and revels, sometimes all together.
Art thou good at these kickshaws this night?
As any man in Illyria.
What is thy excellence in a galliard?
Faith, I can cut a cape up.
Oh, and I can cut them up too.
And I think I have the back troops as strong as any man in Illyria.
Wherefore are these things hid? Wherefore have these gifts a curtain before them? I did think, by the excellent constitution of thy leg, that it was formed under the star of a galliard.
Aye, 'tis strong, and it does indifferent well in a dun-coloured stock. Set about some revels.
What shall we do else? Were we not born under Taurus?
Taurus, that's sides and heart.
No, sir, it is legs and thighs. Come, let me see you take her. Ha! Higher! Ha ha! Excellent!
If the Duke continue these papers for you, Cesario, you would like to be much advanced. He hath known you but 3 days, and already you are no stranger.
You either fear his humor or my negligence that you call into question the continuance of his love. Is he inconstant, sir, in his favors?
Oh, believe me.
I thank you. Oh, here comes the Count.
Who saw Cesario? Huh?
On your attendance, my lord, here.
Cesario.
My lord, if she be so abandoned to her sorrow as to spoke, fair Olivia will never speak to me.
Get thee beyond some sovereign cruelty. Tell her, my love, more noble than the world, prizes not quantity of dirty lands. They will admit it more in your youth than a nuncio of more grave aspect.
I think not so, my lord.
Dear lad, believe it. They will belie thy happy years. Thou say thou art a man. Diana's lip be not more smooth and rubious. Thy small pipe be as the maiden's organ, shrill and sound, and all is semblative a woman's part. Prosper well in this, and thou shalt live as freely as thy lord, to call his fortunes thine.
I'll do my best to woo your lady. The heartful strife, wherein who myself would be his wife.
Nay, either tell me where thou hast been, or I will not open my lips so wide as a bristle may enter in way of thy excuse. My lady will hang thee for thy absence.
Let her hang me.
He that is well hung in this world need fear no colors.
Yet you will be hanged for being so long absent, or to be turned away. Is that not as good as a hanging to you?
Many a good hanging prevents a bad marriage, and for turning away let the summer bear it out.
You are resolute then.
Not so neither, but I am resolved on 2 points.
That if one break, the other will hold, or if both break, your gaskins fall.
Apt. Very apt in good faith. Well, go thy way. If Sir Toby would leave drinking, thou art as witty a piece of his flesh as any in Illyria.
Peace, you rogue, no more of that. Here comes my lady. Make your excuse wisely, you were best.
Wait, and it be thy will put me in good fooling. Those wits that think they have thee do very oft prove fools, and I that swear I lack thee could often pass for a wise man. For what says Quinopolis? Better a witty fool than a foolish wit. God bless thee, lady!
Take the fool away.
Did you not hear, good fellow? Take away the lady!
Go to, you're a dry fool, I'll know more of you. Besides, you grow dishonest.
2 faults, Madonna, which drink and good counsel will lament. For, give the dry fool drink, then is the fool not dry. Bid the dishonest man mend himself. If he do mend, then he is no longer dishonest. If he cannot, let the butter mend him. Anything that's mended is but patched. Virtue that transgresses is but patched with sin, and sin that amends is but patched with virtue. If that this simple syllogism will hold, if it will not, then what remedy? As there's no true calamity but a cuckold, so beauty's a flower. Gentlemen, the lady said, take away the fool, therefore I say again, take away the lady.
Sir, I beg them take away you.
Misprison in the highest degree, lady. Cucullus non facit monicum. That goes as much to say as I were not a motley in the brain. Good Madonna,
Give me leave to prove you a fool.
Can you do it?
Dexterously, good Madonna.
Make your proof.
I must catechize you for it, sweet, my mouse of virtue. Answer me.
Well, sir, for want of other idleness, I'll bide your proof.
Good Madonna, why mournest thou?
Good fool, for my brother's death.
I think his soul is in hell, Madonna.
I know his soul is in heaven, fool.
The more fool, Madonna, to mourn your brother's soul being in heaven. Take away the fool, gentlemen!
What think you of this fool, Malvolio? Doth he not mend?
Yes, and shall, due to the pangs of death, shaken, infirmity that decays the wise, doth ever make the better fool.
God send you, sir, a speedy infirmity for the better increasing your folly. Sir Toby will be sworn that I am no fox, but he will not pass his coat for 2 pence, that you are no fool.
Oh, what say you to that, Malvolio?
I marvel your ladyship takes delight in such a barren rascal. I saw him put down the other day with an ordinary fool with no more brain than a stone. Look you now, instead of his guard already. Unless you laugh, minister attention to him. He is gagged.
You are sick of self-love, Malvolio, and taste with a distempered appetite. To be guiltless, generous, and of free disposition is to take those things for bird bolts, which you deem cannon bullets. There is no slander in a loud fool, though he do nothing but rail, nor no railing in a known discreet man, though he do nothing but reprove.
Now, Mercury, endue thee with leasing, for thou speakest well of fools.
Madam, there is at the gate a young gentleman much desires to speak with you.
Oh, from the Count Orsino, is it?
I know not, madam. 'Tis a fair young man and well attended.
Moved by people holding me delay.
Sir Toby, madam, your
Oh, fetch him off, I pray you! He speaks nothing but madman, fly on him! Go you, Malvolio. If it be a suit from the Count, I am sick or not at home. What you will to dismiss it. Now you see, sir, how your fooling grows old, and people dislike it.
Thou hast spoke for us, Madonna, as if thy eldest son should be a fool whose skull drove cram with brains, for here he comes. One of your kin has a most weak high mater.
By mine honor, half drunk. What is he at the gate, cousin?
A gentleman.
Ah, gentlemen! What gentleman?
A gentle man. They give me some pickle hair. Oh, how now, thought?
Good Sir Toby.
Cousin, how have you come so early by this lethargy?
Lechery? I defy lechery. There's one at the gate.
Aye, Mary, what is he?
Oh, let him be the devil any will. I care not. Give me faith, say I. Well, saw one.
What's a drunken man like, fool?
Like a madman, a fool, and a drowned man. The first drown above heat makes him a fool. The second mads him, and the third drowns him.
Go thou and seek the crowner and let him sit on my cuz, for he's in the 3rd degree of drink. He's drowned. Go look after him.
He is but mad yet, Madonna. The fool shall look to the madman.
Madam, yon young fellow swears he will speak with you. I told him you were sick. He takes on him to understand so much, and therefore comes to speak with you. I told him you were asleep. He seems to have a full knowledge of that as well, and therefore comes to speak with you. What is to be said to him, lady?
Tell him he shall not speak with me.
Has been told so, but he says he'll stand at your door like a sheriff's post and be the supporter to a bench. But he'll speak with you.
What kind of man is he?
Why of mankind?
What manner of man?
A very ill man. No. He'll speak with you. Will you bring out?
Of what personage and years is he?
No, old enough for a man. No, young enough for a boy. As a swash is before 'tis a peas card or a carving, which is almost an apple, 'tis with him in standing water between balls. He's very well favoured and speaks very shrewishly. One would think his mother's milk were scarce out of him.
Let him approach. Call in my gentlewoman.
A gentleman, my lady calls.
Come, bring me my veil, throw it over my face. We'll once more hear Orsino's embassy.
The honorable lady of the house wishes she.
Speak to me, I shall answer for her. Your will?
Most radiant, exquisite, and unmatchable beauty. I pray you, tell me if you be the lady of the house, for I never saw her. I would be loath to cast away my speech, besides that it is excellently well penned. I have taken great pains to con.
Whence came you, sir?
I'd say a little more than I've studied, but that question's out of my part. Good gentle one, give me modest assurance if you be the lady of the house that I may proceed in my speech.
Are you a comedian?
No, my profound heart. Yet I swear I am not that I play. Are you the lady of the house?
If I do not usurp myself, I am.
Then most certain if you are she, you do usurp yourself. For what is yours to bestow is not yours to reserve. But this is for my commission. I will on with my speech in your praise, and then show you the heart of my message.
Come to what is important, and I forgive you the praise.
Alas, I took great pains to study it, and 'tis poetic.
It is the more like to be feigned. I pray you, keep it in. I heard you were saucy at my gates, and allowed your approach rather to wonder at you than to hear you. If you be not mad, be gone. If you have reason, be brief. 'Tis not the time of moon with me to make one, and so skipping a dialogue.
Will you hoist sail, sir? Here lies your way.
No good, swabber. I'm to halt here a while longer. Some multiplication for your giant sweet lady.
I'm sure you have some hideous matter to deliver, when the courtesy of it is so fearful. Speak your office.
It alone concerns your ear. My words are as full of peace as matter.
Yet you began rudely. What are you? What would you?
The rudeness that hath appeared in me have I learned from my entertainment. What I am and what I would are as secret as maidenhead. To your ears, divinity. To others, profanation.
Give us the place alone. We will hear this divinity. Now, sir, what is your text?
Most sweet!
A comfortable doctrine, and much may be said of it. Where lies your text?
In Orsino's bosom.
In his bosom. In what chapter of his bosom?
To answer by method, in the first of his hearts.
I have read it. It is heresy. Have you no more to say?
Good madam, let me see your face.
Have you any commission from your lord to negotiate with my face? You are now out of your text. But we will draw the curtain and show you the picture. Look you, sir, such a one I was this present. 'Tis it not well done?
Excellently done. God did all.
'Tis ingrained, sir, to endure wind and weather.
'Tis beauty truly blent, whose red and white nature's own sweet and cunning hand lead on. Lady, you are the cruelest she alive if you will lead these graces to the grave and leave the world no copy.
Oh, sir, I will not be so hard-hearted. I will give out diverse schedules of my beauty. It shall be inventoried, and every particle and utensil labeled to my will, as item 2 lips, indifferent red, item 2 gray eyes with lids to them, item 1 neck, 1 chin, and so forth. Did you come hither to praise me?
I see what you are. You are too proud. Lady, if you were the devil, you are fair. My lord and master loves you. Oh, such love could not be recompensed, though you were crowned the non-peril of beauty.
How does he love me?
With adorations and fertile tears, with groans that thunder love, sighs of fire.
Your lord does know my mind. I cannot love him. Yet I suppose him noble, know him virtuous, of great estate, of fresh and stainless youth, a gracious person. But yet I cannot love him. He might have took his answer long ago.
If I did love you, in my master's flames, with such a suffering, such a deadly life, in your denial I would find no sense. I would not understand it.
Why would you?
Make me a willow cabin at your gate, and call upon my soul within the house. Write loyal cantons of contemned love, and sing them out loud in the dead of night. Hallow your name to the reverberant hills, and make the babbling gossip in the air cry out, Olivia! Oh, you should not rest between the elements of air and earth. You should pity me.
You might do much. What is your parentage?
Above my fortunes, yet my estate as well, I'm a gentleman.
Give you to your lord. I cannot love him, let him send no more, unless, perchance, you come to me again to tell me how he takes it. Fare thee well, I thank thee for thy pains. Spend this for me.
I'm no feed post lady. My master, not myself, lacks recompense. Farewell, fair cruelty.
What is your parentage? Above my fortunes, yet my state is well. I am a gentle. Oh, be so worn thou art! Thy tongue, thy limbs, thy face, action, and spirit do give thee fivefold blazon. Not too fast. Oh, soft. Unless the master were the man. How now? Even so quickly may one catch the plague. Methinks I feel this youth's perfections with an invisible and subtle stealth to creep in at mine eyes. Well, let it be. What help, Malvolio?
Here, madam, at your service.
Run after that same peevish messenger, the county's man. He left this ring behind him. Would I or no tell him I'll none of it, desire him not to flatter with his lord, nor hold him up with hopes. I am not for him. But that the youth will come again this way tomorrow, I'll give him reasons for it.
Madam, I will.
I do, I know not what. And if you're to find mine eye too great a flatterer for my mind. Fate, show thy force. Ourselves we do not owe. What is decreed must be, and be this so.
Would you stay no longer? Know you not that I go with you?
By your patience know. My stars shine darkly over me. The malignancy of my fate might perhaps distemper yours. Therefore I shall crave of you that I may bear my troubles alone. 'Twould be a poor recompense for your love to lay any of them on you.
Let me know if you are bound.
No! Sir, my determinate voyage is mere extravagance. But I perceive in you so acting in a touch of modesty, you are not willing to extort from me what I wish you keep in. Therefore it charges me in manners the rather to express myself. Know of me then, Antonio, my name is Sebastian, which I call Marguerite. My father was that Sebastian of Mezzalene, of whom I know you have heard. He left behind him both myself and a sister, both born in an hour. If the heavens had been kind, so we would have ended. Oh, but you, sir, altered that. For 1 hour before he took me from the breach of the sea was my sister drowned.
Alas, the day.
A lady, sir, though it is said she much resembled me, was yet by many accounted beautiful. And though I cannot overfar believe that, this far I will boldly publish her. She bore a mind which envy could not but call fair. She is drowned already, sir, in salt water. There seemed to drown her resemblance again more.
Pardon me, sir.
Forgive me, Antonio, your trouble.
If you would not murder me for my love, let me be your servant.
If you will not undo what you have done, that is, kill him who you have recovered, desire it not. Fare you well at once. I am bound for the Cappuccino's court.
The gentleness of all the gods go with thee. I have many enemies in Orsino's court, else I would very surely see thee there. But, come what may, I do adore thee so that danger shall seem sport, and I shall go.
Were you not even now the Countess Olivia?
Even now, sir, on a moderate pace I have since arrived but hither.
She returns this ring to you, so you might have saved me my pains to have taken it away yourself. She adds, moreover, that you put your lord in a desperate assurance she'll none of him. And one thing more, that you'd never be so hardy to come again in his affairs, unless it be to report the taking of this receipt so.
She took the ring of me, I'll none of it.
Come, sir, you peevishly threw it to her. And was it to be so returned if it be worth stooping for? There it lies in your eye, if not, it is who finds it.
I left no ring with her. What means this lady? Fortune forbid my outsides have not charmed her. She made good view of me, indeed so much that methought her eyes had lost their tongue, for she did speak and starts distractedly. Oh, she loves me. Sure, the cunning of her passion invites me in this churlish messenger. None of my lord's ring, why he sent her none. I am the man, and if it be so as 'tis, poor lady, sure better love a dream. Disguise. See thou art wickedness wherein the pregnant enemy does much, how Easy it is for the proper false in women's waxen hearts to set their forms, alas. Our frailty is the cause, not we. For such are we made of, such we be. How will this fadge? My master loves her dearly, and I, poor monster, fond on him as much, and she mistaken seems to dote on me. What will become of this? As I am man, my state is desperate for my master's love, and as I am woman, oh, alas the day, what thriftless sighs shall poor Olivia breathe? Oh, time, thou must entangle this, not I. It's too hard of a knot for me to untie.
Not to be abed after midnight is to be up betimes, and dilaculo surgere, thou knowest.
Nay, by my troth, I know not. But I know to be up late is to be up late.
Oh, a false conclusion. I hate it as an unfilled cake. To be up after midnight and to go to bed then is early, so to go to bed after midnight is to go to bed betimes. Does not our life consist of the four elements?
Troth, so they say, but I believe it rather consists of eating and drinking.
Oh, thou art a scholar. Let us therefore eat and drink. Marion, a strip of wine.
Oh, you faithful fool!
How now, my hearts? Did you ever see the picture of we three?
Welcome, Ash. No, let's have a catch.
By my troth, the fool has an excellent breast. I would rather than 40 shilling I had so sweet a voice and so fine a leg as the fool has. Why, this is the best fooling when all is done. Come, a song!
A song. Here's sixpence.
Oh, here's a kestrel of me, too.
If one night give on.
Would you have a love song or a song of good life?
A love song.
I care not for good life.
Contagious breath.
Sweet and contagious.
To hear by the nose, 'tis dulcet in contagion. Oh, but shall we make the welkin dance and cheer? Shall we rouse the night owl in a catch that will draw 3 souls out of one weaver? Shall we do that?
And you love me, let's do it! I am a dog at the catch.
Fire lady, sir, and some dogs will catch well.
Let our catch be thou knave.
Hold thy peace, thou knave knight? I must be constrained in it to call thee knave knight.
This is not the first time I've constrained one to call me knave. Come, fool, begin! It begins! Hold thy peace!
I shall never begin if I hold my peace.
Come and make begin!
My lady is a Cataian are politicians. Malvolio is a pegarelli. And 3 merry men be we. Am not I consanguineous? Am I not of her blood? Tilly Valley, lady. There dwelt a man in Babylon, lady.
Israel be the knights and admirable fooling.
Aye, he does it well enough, if you be so disposed. And so do I, too. He does it with better grace, but I do it more natural.
Go the 12th day of December, lady.
Marquis!
My master! Oh, you mad! What are you? Have you no wit, manners, nor honesty, but you gabble like tigers at this time of night? Do you make an alehouse of my lady's house? Sneak up with your coziest catches, money, sense of mitigation, remorse of voice. Is in no sense of person, place, nor time in any of you.
Oh, well, we did keep time, sir, in our catches. Sneha.
So tell me, I must be round with you. My lady bade me tell you that though she harbors you as her kinsman, she is nothing allied to your disorders. If you can separate yourself and your misdemeanors, you are welcome to the house. If not, I would please you to take leave of her. She is very willing to bid you farewell.
Farewell, dear heart, since I must leave thee
Needless
gone.
society shall always days are almost done.
And I will never die.
Toby, they rush.
Shall I bid him go?
And what if you do?
Shall I bid him go and spare
Oh,
none?
no, you dare not!
Go to tune, sir. Art any more than a steward? Dost thou think, as thou art virtuous, that there shall be no more cakes and ale?
I am thy saint, and ginger shall be hot in the mouth.
Thou art in the right. Go, sir, rub your chain with crumbs. Maria, a stoup of wine.
Mistress Mary, if you prize my lady's favor anything more than contempt, you will not give means for this uncivil woo. She shall know of it. Have his hand.
Go shake your ears!
It's good indeed is to drink when a man's hungry, to challenge him in the field, and then to break promise with him and make a fool of him.
Go, do it. I'll write thee a challenge for him, or I'll deliver it to him by word of mouth.
Sweet Sir Toby, be patient for tonight. Since the youth of the Count's was today with my lady, she is much rather quiet. For Monsieur Malvolio let me alone with him. If I do not gull him into a neighborhood and make him a common recreation, do not think I have wit enough to lie straight in my bed. I know I can do it.
Oh, possess us. Tell us something of him.
Marry, sir, sometimes he is a kind of a Puritan.
And I thought that I beat him like a dog.
What, sir, for being a Puritan? Thy exquisite reason, dear knight.
I have no exquisite reason for it, but I have reason enough.
The devil a Puritan that he is, or anything constantly but a time pleaser, an affection ass that constate without book and utters it by great swaths, the best persuaded of himself, so crammed to see things with excellencies that it is his grounds of faith that all that look on him love him. And in that vice in him will my revenge by notable cause to work.
What wilt thou do?
I will drop in his way some obscure epistles of love, wherein by the color of his beard, the shape of his leg, the manner of his gait, the expression of his eye, forehead, and complexion, he will find himself most feelingly personated. I can write very like my lady your niece on a forgotten manner. We can hardly make distinction of our own hands.
Excellent. I smell a device.
My nose, too.
He shall think, by the epistles thou wilt drop, that they are from my niece and that she's in love with him.
My purpose is indeed a horse of that color.
And your horse will make an ass of him.
Ass, I doubt not.
'Twill be admirable.
Sport royal, I warrant you. I know my physic will work with him. I will plant you two, and let the fool make a third, where he shall find the letter. Observe his construction of it. For this night, to bed, and Juma the event. Farewell.
Good night, Cecilia.
For me, she's a good wench.
Aye, she's a beagle and true bred, and one that adores me. What of that?
I was adored once.
Let's do better. Now let's send for more money.
I cannot recover your niece. I am a
foul way out.
Send for money, knight. If thou hast her not in the end, call me cut.
I do not. Never trust me. Take it how you will.
Come, knight, come, knight. I'll go burn some sack. It's too late to go to bed now. Come.
Me.
Give me some music. Now, good morrow, friends. Good. But that song, that old antique song we heard last night, we thought it did relieve my passions much.
You did not hear my lord when she sing it.
Who was it?
Professor the Jester, my lord. The fool Lady Olivia's father took great delight in. He is about the house.
Well, seek him out and play the tune a while. Cesario. If ever thou shalt love in these sweet pangs of it, remember, for such as I am, all true lovers are, unstaid, skittish, and all motions else, save in the constant image of the creature that is beloved. How dost thou like this tune?
Even now, sir, gives a very echo to the seat where love is throned.
Thou dost speak masterly. Young thou art, my life upon it. Thine eye hath stayed upon some creature that it loves. Hath it not, boy?
A little by your favor.
What kind of woman is it?
Of your complexion.
Ugh, not worth thee then. What years, I faith?
About your years, my lord.
Too old, by heaven. Let still a woman take an elder than herself. So wears she to him, so sways she level in her husband's heart. For boy, however we do praise ourselves, our fancies are more giddy and unfirm, more sooner wavering, lost and worn than women's are.
I think it well, my lord.
Then let thy love be younger than thyself, or thy affections cannot hold the bent. Women are as roses, whose fair flower, being once displayed, doth fall that very hour.
Alas, they are, that they are so, to die even when they to perfection grow.
Oh, that song, that old antique song, mark it, Cesario. It is old and plain. The spinsters and the knitters in the sun and the free maids who weave their hair with bones and do chant silly sleuth, and all dallies with the innocence of love, like the old age.
Are you ready, sir?
I really sing.
Come away, death! In sad cypress, let me be laid. Fly away, breath! I am slain by a fair, cruel maid. My shroud of white, oh, stuck with you. Oh, prevent it! My part of death, no one so true did share it. 1,000 sighs to say. Oh, lay me where my sad true lover never finds my grave to weep there.
There's for thy pains.
No pain, sir. I take pleasure in singing, sir.
I'll pay thee
changeable taffeta, for my mind is like the very opal. I would have men of such constancy put to sea so that their intent might be everything and their effect everywhere, for that's it that makes a good voyage of no thing. Farewell.
Let all the rest give place. Once more, Cesario. Get thee to yond some sovereign cruelty. Tell her, my love, more noble than the world, prizes not a quantity of dirty lands. Tell her, I hold as giddily as fortune, but 'tis that miracle and queen of gems that nature pranks her in attracts my soul.
But if she cannot love you, sir.
I cannot be so answered.
Sooth, but you must say that some lady, as perhaps there is, hath for your love as great a pang of heart as you have for Olivia. You cannot love her, you tell her so.
There is no woman's sides can bide a beating of so strong a passion as love doth give my heart. No woman's heart to hold so much. They lack retention. Alas, their love may be called appetite. No motion of the liver, but of the palate. To suffer, surfeit, cloytment, and revolt, but mine is all as hungry as the sea, and can digest as much. Make no compare between what love a woman can bear me, and what love I owe Olivia.
But I know.
What dost thou know?
Too well what love women to men may owe. In faith, they are as true of heart as we. My father had a daughter loved a man, as it might be, perhaps were I a woman, I should your lordship.
Aye, what be her history?
A blank, my lord, she never told her love, but let concealment like a worm in the bud feed on her damask cheek. She pined in thought, and with a green and yellow melancholy sat like patience on a monument, smiling at grief. Was not this love indeed? We men may say more, swear more, but indeed our shows are more than will, for still we prove much in our vows, but little in our love.
But died thy sister of her love, my boy?
I'm all the daughters of my father's house, and all the brothers too. And yet I know not. Sir, shall I to this lady?
Aye. Give her this jewel. Tell her my love can give no place. Bide no delay.
Come thy way, Senior Fabian.
Nay, and I lose a scruple of this sport, let me be spoiled to death with melancholy.
Wouldst thou not be glad to see the rascally sheep-biter come by some notable shame?
I would exult, man. You know he brought me out of favor with my lady about a bear baiting here.
To anger him, we'll have the bear again, and we'll fool him black and blue. Shall we not, Sir Andrew?
And we do not. 'Tis a pity on our lives.
Oh, here comes the little villain. How now, my medal of India?
Get you off. Malvolio's coming down this walk. He's been yonder at the sun, practicing behavior to his own shadow this half hour. Observe him, for I know this letter will make a contemplative idiot of him. Close, in the name of jesting. I now there, for here comes the trout that must be caught with tickling. 'Tis but fortune. All is fortune. Maria once told me she did affect me, and I have heard herself come thus near that should she fancy it should be one of my complexion. Besides, she uses me with a more exalted respect than anyone else who follows her. What should I think on it?
Here's an overweening rogue.
Oh, peace, contemplation makes a rare turkey cockman.
See how he jets under his advanced plumes.
Like I can beat the rogue. Peace, I say. To be Count Malvolio.
A rogue!
Pistol him, pistol him! There is example for the lady of the Strachey did marry the yeoman of the wardrobe.
Lie on him, Jezebel! Peace! Now see deeply and look how imagination blows him.
Having been 3
3 months married to her, sitting in my estate.
For a stone bow to hit him in the eye.
Calling my officers about me in a branched velvet gown, having come from a day bed, where I've left Olivia sleeping.
Fire and brimstone.
Oh, peace, peace. And after having the demure travel regard in the humor of stage, telling them I know my place, as I would they should know theirs, to ask for my kinsman, Toby.
Bolts and shackles!
Oh, peace, peace, peace. Now, no.
7 of them make out with an obedient start. I frown the while, and perchance wind up my watch, or play with my some rich jewel.
Silence. Be drawn from us with cards. Now, peace.
Toby approaches, curtsies there to me, and I extend my hand to him thus, quenching my familiar smile with austere regard of control.
Does not Toby take your lips now?
Cousin, Toby, my fortunes having cast me upon your niece, give me this prerogative of speech.
What? What?
You must amend your drunkenness.
Out, stab!
Hey,
Besides,
witness the news of our plot.
you waste the treasure of your time with a foolish knight.
That's me, I warned you.
Sir Andrew.
I knew it was for many to call me fool.
What employment have we here?
Oh, now is the woodcock near the gin.
So spirit of humor intimate reading aloud to him.
By my life, this is my lady's hand. These be her very seeds, her youth, and her teas, and thus makes she the great peas. It doesn't condemn of question her hand.
Her C's, her U's, and her T's. Why that?
To the unknown beloved, this is my good wishes. Her very fair spot, your being quite soft, and the impression of her grace with which she uses to see her. Oh, it is my lady. To whom should this be?
Oh, this wins in liver and all.
Jove knows I love but who lips do not move, no man must know. No man must know what follows, no man must know. The numbers alter. If this should be thee, Malvolio.
Mary, hang me, Brock.
I may command where I adore, with silence like a Lucrece knife, with flatly stroke my heart doth go. M-O-A-I doth sway my life.
A Fusian riddle.
Excellent wench, say I.
M-O-A-I doth sway my life. But first let me see.
Oh, what a disappointment is she dressed in.
And with what witness Daniel checks at it.
I may command what I adore. Why? She may command me. I serve her. She is my lady. This is evident in any formal capacity. But what should that alphabetical positioning portend if I could only make that resemble something in me softly? M-O-A-I.
Oh, I make up that. He's now in a cold scent.
M. Malvolio, and that begins my name.
Could I not say you would work it out? The curve is excellent and it falls.
M. But then there is no consonancy in the sequel that suffers under probation. A should follow, but O does.
And O shall end, I hope.
I will cudgel him and make him cry, oh.
And I comes behind.
Aye, if you had an eye behind you, you might see more detractions at your heels than fortunes before you.
M-O-A-I. The simulation is not as a form, and yet to crush it a little. It would bow to me. Every one of those letters are in my name. Softly follows purse. If this fall into thy hand, revolve. In my stars I am above thee. Be not afraid of greatness. Some are born great. Some achieve greatness. And some have greatness thrust upon them. Open their hands, let thy blood and spirit embrace them, and to annul thyself to what thou art like to be. Cast thy humble slough and appear fresh. Be opposite with a kinsman, surly with servants. Let thy tongue tang with arguments of state. Put thyself into the trick of singularity. She thus advises thee that sighs for thee. Remember who commended thy yellow stockings and wished to see thee ever cross-guarded. I say remember. Go to, thou art made if thou desirest to be so. If not, let me see thee as steward still. A fellow of servants not worthy to touch fortune's fingers. Farewell. She that would alter surfaces with thee the fortunate unhappy. Daylight. Her champion discovers not more. This is open. I will be proud. I will baffle Sir Toby. I will wash off gross acquaintance. I will be point devised of every man. I do not now fool myself or let imagination jade me, for every reason excites to this, that my lady loves me. She did commend my yellow stockings as of late. She did praise me for being cross-guarded, and in this, she manifests herself to my love and drives me to the habits of her liking. Oh, thank my stars, I am happy. I'll be stout, strange, cross-gartered in yellow stockings, even with the swiftness of putting on. Here's the postscript. Thou canst not choose but know who I am. If thou entertainest my love, let it appear in thy smiling. Thy smiles become thee well, therefore in my presence still smile, dear my sweet, I prithee. Jove, I thank thee. I will smile. I will do everything that thou wilt have me.
I would not give my part of the sport for a pension of thousands to be paid from the soul.
I could marry this wench for this device.
So could I, too.
And ask no other dowry with her but another such jest.
Nor I neither.
So, here comes my noble gold catcher.
Oh, wilt thou set thy foot upon my neck?
Nor on mine either.
Shall I play my freedom a traitor and become thy bond slave? Why, you will put him in such a dream when the image of it leaves him, he must run mad.
Nay, but say it true, does it work upon him?
Look like aquavitae with a midwife.
You will then see the rules of sport. Mark his first approach before my lady. He will come to her in yellow stockings, tis a color she abhors, and cross-gartered, a fashion which she detests, and he will smile upon her. And she will now be so unsuitable to her disposition, being addicted to a melancholy as she is, that it cannot return him into a notable contempt. If you will see it, follow me.
To the gates of Tartar, that most excellent devil of
I'll
wits.
make one, too.
No, sir, I do live by the church.
Art thou a churchman?
No, sir, I do live by the church, for I do live at my house, and my house doth stand by the church.
So thou mayest say, the king lies by a beggar if the beggar dwell near him, or the church stands by thy tabor if thy tabor stand by the church.
Thou hast said, sir. A sentence is but a cheveril glove to a good wit. How quickly the wrong side may be turned outward.
Nay, that's certain, and those that dally nicely with words may quickly make them wanting.
I would therefore my sister have no word, sir.
Why, man?
Why, her name's a word, and to dally with that word might make my sister wanting.
Thy reason, man.
Trump, I can yield you none without words. And they have grown so false I loathe to prove reason with them.
I warrant thou art a merry fellow and carest for nothing.
Not so, sir, I do care for something. But in my conscience, sir, I do not care for you. Happy to care for nothing, I would make you.
Art not thou Lady Olivia's fool?
No, indeed, sir, the Lady Olivia has no folly. She will keep no fool, sir, till she be married. I am not the Lady Olivia's fool, but her corrupter of words.
I saw thee late at Countersinos.
Foolery, sir, does walk about the orb like the sun.
It shines everywhere.
I should be swine, sir, but the fool should be as often with your master as with my mistress. I think I saw your wisdom there.
Nay, and thou pass upon me. I'll no more with thee. Hold, there's expenses for thee.
Now, Jove and his next commodity of hair.
Send thee a beard.
Bond my troth, I'm almost sick for one, though I would not have it grow on my chin. Is thy pity within?
Would not a pair of these of bread, sir.
I understand. 'Tis well begged.
The matter, I hope, is not great. My lady is within. I will construe to them whence you came, who you are, and what you would, are out of my welkin. I might say element, but the word is overwrought.
This fellow is wise enough to play the fool, and to do that well craves a kind of wit. He must observe their mood on whom he jests, and the quality of persons, and the time, and like the haggard check at every feather that comes before his eye. This is a practice is full of labor as a wise man's art. For folly he that wisely shows us fit, but wise men folly falling quite hate their wit.
God save thee, gentlemen.
And you, sir.
Je vous garde, monsieur.
Et vous aussi, votre serviteur.
I am, sir, and I hope you are yours.
Will you encounter the house? My niece desires you should enter, if your trade be to her.
I'm bound to your niece. I mean, she's the list of my voyage.
Oh, then taste your legs, sir. Put them to motion.
My legs do better understand me, sir, than I understand what you mean by bidding me taste my legs.
I mean to go, sir, to enter.
I will answer you with gate and entrance. But we are prevented. The heavens rain odors on you.
The youth's rare courtier rains odors well.
My mother hath no voice, lady, but you're most pregnant and vouchsafed dear.
Pregnant, vouchsafed odors. I'll get them all three ready.
Let the garden door be shut, and leave me to my hearing. Give me your hand, sir.
My duty, madam, your most humble service.
What is your name?
Cesario is your servant's name for a princess.
Oh, my servant, sir. 'Twas of our merry world, since lowly fame was called compliment. Your servant, the Count Orsino, used.
And he is yours, and he must needs be yours. Your servant's servant is your servant.
For him, I think not on him, for his thoughts, but they were blanks, rather than filled with me.
Madam, I come to wet your gentle thoughts on his behalf.
And by your leave, I pray you, I beg you never speak again of him. But, would you undertake another suit? I would rather hear you to solicit that than music from the spheres.
To your lady.
Give me leave, beseech you. I did send, after the last enchantment, you did hear a ring in chase of you. So did I abuse myself, my servant, and I fear me, you. In your hard construction must I sit to force that on you in a shameful cunning which you knew none of yours. What might you think? Have you not set mine honor at the stake and baited it with all the unmuzzled thoughts that tyrannous heart can think? To one of your receiving enough is shown, a cypress, not a bosom hideth in my heart. So let me hear you speak.
I pity you.
That's a degree to love.
No, not agrees, for 'tis vulgar proof that very oft we pity enemies.
Why then methinks 'tis time to smile again. O world, how apt the poor are to be proud. If one should be a prey, 'tis much the better to fall before the lion than the wolf. The clock upbraids me with the waste of time. Be not afraid, good youth, I will not have you. And yet, when wit and youth is come to harvest, your were is like to reap a proper man. There lies your way, due west.
Then westward, hill of grace and goodness of decision, attend your ladyship. You'll nothing, madam, to your lord by me.
Stay! I prithee tell me what thou thinkest of me.
That you do think you are not what you are.
If I think so, I think the same of you.
Then think you right, I am not what I am.
Who would you rather have, you peeve?
Would it be better, madam, than I am? I wish it might, for no one clear fool.
What a deal of scorn looks beautiful in the contempt and anger of his lip. A murderous guilt shows not itself more soon than love that would seem hid. Love's night is noon. Cesario, by the roses of the spring, by maidhood, honor, truth, and everything, I love thee. So that maugre all thy pride, nor wit, nor reason can my passion hide. Do not extort thy reasons from this clause, for that I woo, thou therefore hast no cause. But rather reason thus with reason fetter. Love sought is good, but given unsought better.
By my innocence and by my youth, I swear, I have one heart, one bosom, one truth, and that no woman has, nor never none shall be mistress of it, save I alone. And so, adieu, good madam. Nevermore will I my master's tears to you deplore.
He'll come again, for thou perhaps mayst move that heart, which now abhors to like his love.
No, faith, I'll not stand, shot love!
Thy reason
favors to the Count's serving men than she ever bestowed upon me. I saw it in the orchard.
But did she see thee the while, old boy? Tell me that.
As plain as I see you now.
Why, this was a great argument in her love towards you.
Will you make an ass of me?
I will prove it legitimate, sir, upon the oaths of judgment and reason.
Oh, and they have been grand jurymen since before Noah was a sailor.
She did show favor to the youth within your sight, only to exasperate you, to awake your dormouse valor, to put fire in your heart and brimstone in your liver. You should then have accosted her, and with some excellent jests, fire new from the mint, you should have banged the youth into dumbness. This was looked for at your hand, and this was balked. The double guilt of this opportunity, you let time wash off, and now you are sailed into the north of my lady's opinion, where you will hang like an icicle upon a Dutchman's beard. Unless you do redeem it by some laudable attempt, either of valor or policy.
Either way, it must be valor. For policy I hate.
Why then, build thy fortunes upon the basis of valor. Go! Challenge the Count's youth to fight with him. Hurt him in 11 places. My niece shall take note of it, and assure thyself there is no love broker in the world can more prevail in man's commendation with woman than report of valor.
There is no way with this, Sir Andrew.
Will either of you bear me a challenge to him?
Go, write it in a martial hand. Be cursed and brief. It is no matter how witty, so it be eloquent and fun of invention. Taunt him with the license of ink. And as many lies as will lie in thy sheet of paper, though the sheet were big enough for the bed of ware in England, set it down. Go to it. Let there be gall enough in thy ink, though thou write with a goose pen. Go.
Where shall I find you?
Oh, we'll call thee in the cubiculo. Go.
This is a dear mannequin to you, Sir Toby.
Oh, I have been dear to him, lad. Some 2,000 strong or so.
We will have a weird letter from him, but you'll not deliver it.
Oh, never trust me. But by all means, stir on the Count's gentlemen to an answer. I think oxen and wain ropes cannot hail them together. For Andrew, if he were opened and you find as much blood in his liver as will clog the foot of a flea, I'll eat the rest of the anatomy.
And his opposite, the youth, bears in his visage no great presage of cruelty.
Look when the youngest friend of 9 comes.
If you desire the spleen and will laugh yourselves into stitches, follow me. Yon gold Malvolio is turned heathen, a very renegado. He's in yellow stockings.
And cross-gartered.
Most villainously. Like a pedant that keeps school in the church. I have dogged him like his murderer. He does obey every point of the letter that I dropped to betray him. He does smile his face into more lines than is the new map with the augmentation of the Indies. You've not seen such a thing as this. I can hardly forbear hurling things at him. I know my lady will strike him. If she do, he'll smile and take it for a great favor.
Come, show us where he is.
I would not by my will have troubled you, but since you seem to take pleasure in your pain, I will no further chide you.
I could not stay behind you. My desire, more sharp than filed steel, did spur me forward. And not all love to see you, though so much might have drawn one to a longer voyage. Jealousy would might befall your travel. Being skillless in these parts, which to a stranger, unguided and unfriended, often prove rough and unhospitable. My willing love, though rather by these arguments of fear, set forth in your pursuit.
My kind Antonio, I can no longer answer make but thanks. And thanks never oft returns are shuffled off with such uncurrent pay that were my will as is my conscience firm, you would find better dealing. So what's to do? Should we go see the relics of this town?
Tomorrow, sir. Best first see to your lodging.
I am not weary, and 'tis long till night. I pray you, let us go satisfy our eyes with the memorials and things of fame that do renown this city.
Would you pardon me? I do not without danger walk these streets. Once against the Countess C fights I did service. Of such note indeed, that if I be ta'en here, it will scarce be answered.
Be like you slew a great number of people?
The offences of not such a bloody nature, albeit the quality of the time of quarrel might as well have given us a bloody argument, for which, if I be lapsed in this place, I shall pay dear.
Well, my friend, do not walk too open.
It does not fit me. Hold, sir. Here's my purse. In the south suburbs at the Elephant is the best to lodge. I'll bespeak our dad where you beguile the time and fill your knowledge with viewing of the town.
There shall you have me. Why are you purse?
Happily your eye shall light upon some toy you desire to purchase. And your store, I think, is not full idle market, sir.
I'll be your purse bearer and leave you for an hour.
To the Elephant.
I do remember.
I've sent after him. He says he'll come. What shall I feast him? What bestow of him? I speak too loud. Where's Malvolio? He is sad and civil and suits well for a servant with my fortunes. Where's Malvolio?
He is coming, madam, but in a very strange manner. He is sure possessed, madam.
Why, what's the matter? Does he rave?
No, madam, he does nothing but smile. Your ladyship were best to have some guard about you if he come, for sure the man is tainted in his wits.
Go call him hither. I am as mad as he, if sad and merry madness equal be. How now, Malvolio?
Sweet lady!
Smilest thou? I sent for thee upon a sad occasion.
Sad lady, I could be sad, but these dolphin veins of obstruction in the blood, this crossed arteries, but not out that. Please the eye of one. It is with me as a true frontier. Please one, please all.
How dost thou, man? What is the matter with thee?
Not black in my mind, though yellow in my legs. And command shall be executed. I think we do know the sweet Roman.
Wilt thou go to bed, Malvolio?
To bed. And I'll come to thee.
Comfort thee! Why dost thou smile and kiss thy hand so oft?
How do you, Malvolio?
And yes, nightingales answer dolls.
I hear you with this ridiculous boldness before my lady.
Be not afraid of greatness.
What meanest thou by that, Malvolio?
Some are born great. Some achieve greatness.
What sayest
Some
thou?
have greatness thrust. Remember who commanded thy yellow stocking.
The yellow stocking?
And the other cross guard.
Cross guard?
Thou art made if thou desirest.
Am I made?
If not, let me see thee a steward still.
Oh, this is very midsummer madness.
Madam. There is one at the gate.
I'll come to him. Maria. Let this fellow look to. Where is my cousin Toby? Let my people have a special care of him. I would not have him miscarry for the half of my dowry.
Do you come near me now? No worse man than Sir Toby to look to me. This concurs directly with the letter. She sends him on purpose so that I may appear stubborn to him, for she incites me in the letter. Be opposite with a kinsman, says she. Surly with servants, let thy tongue tang with arguments of state. And when she went away now, let this fellow be looked to fellow, not Malvolio, nor after my degree, but fellow. Why, everything adheres together, that no dram of a scruple, that no scruple of a scruple. What is to be said? Nothing that can be can come between me and the full prospect of my hopes. But Jove, and not I is the doer of this, and he is to be thanked.
Which way is he in the name of sanctity? Though all the devils of hell be drawn a little, and Legion himself possessed him, yet I'll speak to him.
Oh, here he is! Here he is! How is't with you, sir? How is't with you, man?
Go off, let me to him at private, go off.
Go to. Peace. We must deal gently with him. Let me alone. How do you, Malvolio? How is't with you? What man? Defy the devil! Consider he's an enemy to mankind!
Do you know what you say?
Look, and you speak ill of the devil, how he takes it at heart. Pray God he be not bewitched.
How now, mistress?
Oh, Lord!
Really, peace, I say. Go to. We must deal gently with him. Do you not see you move him? Let me alone.
Oh, no way but gentleness. Gently. The fiend is rough and will not be roughly used.
How now, my barcock? How dost thou chuck? What? I bid thee come with me. What, man? 'Tis not for gravity to play a cherry pit with Satan.
Get him to say his prayers, Sir Toby. Get him to pray.
My prayers, me.
Oh, no, I warrant you, he will not hear of godliness.
Go hang yourselves all. You are idle charlatans. I'm not of your element. You shall know more hereafter.
Is it possible?
If this were played out on a stage now, I would condemn it an improbable fiction.
Pursue him now. Let's take care and taint.
Why, we shall make him mad indeed.
Come, we'll have him in a dark room and bound.
One out of her main warning.
Here's the challenge. Read it. There's vinegar and pepper in it.
Is so saucy.
Aye, 'tis. I warrant you. Do but read.
Give me. Youth, whatsoever thou art but a scurvy fellow.
Oh, good and valiant.
Wonder not, nor admire not in thy mind why I do call thee so, for I shall show thee no reason for it.
A good note that keeps you from the blow of the law.
Thou comest to the Lady Olivia, and in my sight she uses thee kindly, but then thou liest in thy throat. This is not the matter I challenge thee for.
Oh, very brief, and to exceeding good sense. Bless.
I will waylay thee going home, where if it be thy chance to kill me,
Good.
thou killest me like a rogue and a villain.
So you keep the windy side of the law. Good.
Oh, farewell, and may God have mercy on one of our souls. He may have mercy on mine, but my hope is better. Therefore, look to yourself. Thy friend, as thou usest him, and thy sworn enemy, Sir Andrew Aguchi. Well, if this letter move him not, his legs cannot. I'll give it to him.
You may have very fit occasion for it. He is now in some commerce with my lady and will bind by depart.
Go, and as soon as ever thou seest him, draw, and as thou drawest, swear for him. Go.
Nay, let me alone for swearing.
Now will not I deliver this letter, for the behavior of the Count's gentleman gives him out to be of good capacity and breeding. This letter, therefore, being so excellently ignorant, will breed no terror in the youth. He will find it comes from a clodpole. But I will deliver the challenge to him by word of mouth, and drive the Count's gentleman into such a hideous opinion of his rage, skill, fury, and impetuosity that they will kill one another by the look, like cockatrices.
Oh, here he comes with your niece. Away and presently after.
I will meditate the while upon some horrid message for a challenge.
Hair set too much into a heart of stone, and laying mine honor to uncherry out. There's something in me that reproves my fault, but such a headstrong, potent fault it is that but mocks reproof.
With the same behavior that your passion bears goes on my master's grace.
Here, wear this jewel for me. 'Tis my picture. Refuse it not, I have no tongue to vex you. And I beseech you, come again tomorrow. What shall you ask of me that I'll deny, that honor saved may upon asking give?
Nothing but this, your true love for my master.
How, with mine honor, may I give him that which I have given to you?
I will acquit you.
Will come again tomorrow. Fare thee well. A fiend like thee might bear my soul to hell.
God save thee, gentlemen.
And you, sir.
Of what defense thou hast, betake thee to it, for of what nature are the wrongs thou hast done him, I know not, but thy interceptor, full of despite, bloody as the hunter, attends thee at the orchard end. Dismount thy tongue, be yare in thy preparation, for thy opponent is quick, skillful, and deadly.
You mistake, sir. I'm sure no man hath any quarrel to me. My remembrance is very free and clear of any image of offense done to any man.
You'll find it otherwise, I assure you. Therefore, if you hold your life at any price, betake you to your guard, for thy opposite hath in him what youth, strength, skill, and wrath can furnish man withal.
Pray you, sir, what is he?
He is knight, dubbed with unhatched rapier and uncarved consideration, but he is a very devil in private brawls. Souls and bodies hath he divorced 3, and his incensement at this moment is so immense. The satisfaction can be none but by pangs of death and sepulchre.
I would return again into the house and desire some conduct of the lady. I am no fighter.
That you would not, then, unless you would undertake that with me, with which as much safety you might answer him. Therefore, on! Or strip your sword stark naked, for metal you must, that's certain. Or forswear to wear iron.
This is as uncivil as strange. I beseech you, do me this courteous office as to know of the knight what my offense to him is. It is something of my negligence, nothing of my purpose.
I will do so, Signor Fabian. Stand you by this gentleman till I return.
Pray, sir, do you know of this matter?
I know the knight is incensed against you, even to a mortal arbitrament. Nothing of the circumstance more.
I beseech you, what manner of man is he?
Nothing of that wonderful promise, to read him by his form, as you are like to find him, in the proof of his valor. He is indeed, sir, as skillful, bloody, and, fatal, an opposite, as you could possibly have found in any part of Illyria. Will you walk towards him? I will make your peace with him, if I can.
I'll be much bound to you for it. I am one that rather go with Sir Priest than Sir Knight. I care not who knows of my metal.
Why, man, he's a very devil. I have not seen such a virago. I had a pass with him, rapier, scabbard, and all, and he gives me the stuck in with such mortal motion that it is inevitable. And on the answer, he hits you as surely as your feet hit the ground they step on.
Pox on it, I'll not meddle with him.
Aye, but he will not now be pacified. Fabian can scarce hold him yonder.
Well, he got it, and I thought he had been so valiant and cunning in fence. I'd have seen him stand there, I'd have challenged him. Let the matter slip, and I'll give him my horse. Gray Capulet.
I'll make the motions. Stand you here, stand you here. Make good show on it. This shall end without the perdition of souls. Mary, I'll ride your horse as well as I ride you. I have his horse to take up the quarrel. I've persuaded him he's a devil.
He is as horribly conceited of him, and looks pale as of a bear or his heels.
There's no remedy for it, sir. He will fight with you for his own sake. Mary, he better be talking of his quarrel, and finds that now scarce to be worth speaking of. Therefore, withdraw. For his importance of his vow, he protests. He will not harm you.
Pray God defend me! A little thing would make me tell him how much I lack of man.
I'd be proud if you would see him furious.
Come, Sir Andrew, come. There's no remedy for it. He will have one bout with you for his honor's sake. He cannot by the duello avoid it, but he has promised me, as he is a gentleman and a soldier, he will not harm you. Come on, do it.
You gotta keep his word.
Put up your sword! If this youth have done offense, I take the fault on me. If you offend him for him, I defy you.
Why, what are you?
One, sir, that for his love dares yet to do more than you have heard him brag to you, he will.
Nay, if you be an undertaker, I am for you.
Oh, Nathan, Sir Toby, hold! Here come the officers!
I'll be with you anon.
Pray, sir, put your sword up if you please.
Oh, great God, I will. That's what I promised you. As good as my word. I will bear you easily and reigns well.
Antonio!
Well, you do
I arrest thee!
You mistake me, sir.
No, sir, no jot. I know your favor well. He knows I know him well.
I must obey. This comes from seeking you. But there's no remedy, I must answer. What will you do now my necessity makes me to ask you for my purse? It grieves me much more for what I cannot do for you than what befalls myself. You stand amazed, but be of comfort.
Come, sir, I pray you go.
I must entreat you to some of that money.
What money, sir? For the fair kindness you have showed me here, and part being prompted by your present trouble, out of my lean and low ability, my having is not much. Hold, there's half my coffer.
Will you deny me now? Possible that my deserts too lack persuasion. Do not tempt my misery, lest it make me so unsound a man as to upbraid you with those kindnesses I've done for you.
What kindnesses, sir? I know of none, nor know I you by voice or any feature. I hate ingratitude in a man more than lying, vainness, wickedness, babbling, drunkenness, or any taint of vice whose corruption and habits are frail.
Oh, heavens themselves.
Come, sir, I pray you go.
Let me speak a little. This youth that you see here, I snatched one half out of the jaws of death, relieved him with such sanctity of love, and to his image, which methought did promise most venerable worth, did I devotion.
The time goes by, I pray you
No,
go.
but oh, how vile and idle proves this God. Thou hast, Sebastian, done good feature shape. In nature there's no blemish but the mind. None can be called deformed but the unkind. Virtue is beauty, but the beauty's evil are empty trunks overflourished by the devil.
The man grows mad. I pray you go.
Lead me on.
Methinks from such passion does his words fly. For he believes himself, so do not I. Prove true, imagination, prove true that I, dear brother, be taken for you.
Come, knight, come, Signor Fabian. We'll whisper over a couplet or two of most sage song.
He named Sebastian, I, my brother, know, yet living in my glass. Even such and so in favor was my brother, for him I imitate. Prove true that tempests are kind and salt waves are fresh in love.
A very dishonest, paltry boy, and more a coward than a hare. His dishonesty appears in leaving his friend here, and necessity in denying him. And as for his cowardship, ask Fabian.
Coward? Most devout coward, religious in it. Settle after him and beat him.
Go, do it. Cut him soundly, but never draw that sword.
And I do not. Come, let's see the events.
I dare lay any money 'twill be nothing yet.
Will you make me believe that I am not sent for you?
Go to, thou art a foolish fellow. Let me be clear with thee.
Well held out in faith. No, I do not know you. Nor am I not sent you by my lady to bid you come speak with her, nor is your name not Master Cesario, nor this is my nose neither. Nothing that is so is so.
I pity, vent thy folly somewhere else. Thou knowest, not me.
Vent my folly? He has heard the word of some great man and now applies it to a fool. Vent my folly! I pray thee, ungird thy strangeness and tell me that I shall vent to my lady. Shall I vent to her that thou art coming?
I pity, foolish Greek, depart from him. There's money for thee. If thou dost tarry longer, thou shalt receive worse payments.
By my troth, thou hast an open hand. Ah, now, sir, have I met you again? That's for you! I will tell my lady straight I would not be in some of your coats for 2 pence! Nay, let him alone, I'll go another way with him. I'll have an action of battery brought against him if there be any law in Illyria. Though I struck him first, yet it's no matter for that.
Hold on, I'll not let you have. Come, my young soldier. You are well-fleshed. Put up your iron. Come on. I'll be free from thee.
What wouldst thou now? If thou dost take me further, put out thy sword.
What? Nay, then I must have an ounce or two of this malapert blood from you.
Hold! Toby, on my legs, I charge thee, hold! Ungracious wretch, fit for the mountains and the barbarous caves where manners never reached, out of my sight! Be not offended, dear Cesario. Roots me be gone! I prithee, gentle friend, let thy fair wisdom, not thy passion, sway in this uncivil and thou unjust extent against thy peace. Go with me to my house, and hear thou there how many fruitless pranks this ruffian hath botched up, that thou thereby mayst smile at this. Thou shalt not choose but go, do not deny.
What relish is in this? How runs the stream, or I am mad, or else this is a dream. Let fancy still in Lethe steep. To be thus to dream, still let me sleep.
I prithee, would thou be ruled by me?
Madam, I will.
Oh, say so, and so be.
Sir Toby the Wise. Well, I'll put it on, and I will dissemble myself in it. And I would I were the first to ever dissemble in such a gown. I am not tall enough to become a function well, nor lean enough to be thought a good student. But to be said an honest man and a good housekeeper goes as well as to say a careful man and a great scholar, a competitor's end.
And Joe bless thee,
Buenos dias, Sir Toby. As the old hermit of Prague once very literally said to the niece of King Gorbaduc, who never saw pen and ink, that is. So I, being Master Parsons, am Master Parsons, for what is that but that it is but is?
To him, Sir Thomas.
What was it? Peace in this prison!
The name counterfeits well a good name.
Who calls her? Sir Thomas the curate, who comes to visit Malvolio the lunatic!
Sir Thomas, good Sir Thomas, go to my lady.
Out, hyperbolical fiend! How vexest thou this man? Talkest thou nothing but ladies?
Sir Thomas, do not think I am mad. They have laid me in hideous darkness.
Fie, thou dishonest Satan! I call thee by the most modest terms, for I am one of those gentle ones who will use even the devil himself with courtesy. Sayest thou this house is dark?
As hell, Sir Thomas.
White at bay windows, as transparent as barricadoes, and the clear stones to the south, north, are as lustrous as ebony, and yet thou complainest of obstruction.
I am not mad, Sir Thomas. I say to you, this house is dark.
Madman, thou errest. I say, there is no darkness, but ignorance, in which thou art more puzzled than the Egyptians in their fog.
I say this house is as dark as ignorance, so ignorance were as dark as hell. And I say never has man been thus abused. I am no more mad, Sir Thomas, and thou art. Make the trial of it in any constant question.
What is the opinion of Pythagoras concerning wildfowl?
That the soul of our grandeur might haply inhabit a bird.
And what thinkest thou of this opinion?
I think nobly of the soul, and in no way approve the opinion.
Very well! Thou shalt hold the opinion of Pythagoras, ere I shall allow of thy wits and fear to kill a woodcock, lest thou dispossess the soul of thy grandeur! Very well!
Sir Thomas! Sir Thomas!
Most exquisite Sir Thomas.
Thou mightest have done this without thy beard and gown, he sees thee not.
To him in thine own voice, and bring me word how thou findest him. I would we were well rid of this knavery. If he may be conveniently delivered, I would he were, for I am now so far an offence with my niece that I cannot with any safety pursue this sport to the upshot. Come by and by to my chamber.
Hey, Robin, jolly Robin, tell me how thy lady does.
Fool.
My lady is unkind, pretty.
Fool.
Alas, why is she so? She loves another.
Fool, I say, who calls her? Good fool, as I not what deserved well at my hand. Help me to a candle, paper, pen, and ink, as I am a gentleman and will live to be thankful to you for it.
Master Malvolio?
Hey, good fool.
Alas, sir, how fell thee besides thy 5 wits?
I am as well in my wits, fool, as thou art.
All is well, then thou art mad indeed, if you be no better in your wits than a fool.
They have here propertied me, keep me in darkness, send ministers to me. Asses! Do all they can to face me out of my wits.
Advise you what you say, Malvolio. A minister. Malvolio! Malvolio! Thy wits the heaven restore! Endeavor thyself to sleep and leave thy vain bibble babble! Maintain no words with him, good fellow. Who, I, Sir Toby,
note. I, Sir Topus, God be with you, Sir Topus. Mary. Oh. And you, sir, and you. Fool, I say. Alas, sir, what say you? I am shamed for speaking to you. What say you, sir?
Good fool, help me to paper and ink. I am as well in my wits as any man in Illyria.
Well, a day that you were, sir.
By this hand, good fool, I am. Some paper, ink, and light. I convey what I will set down to my lady.
I will help you to it. But tell me true, are you not bad indeed, or do you but counterfeit?
I am not. I tell thee true.
Nay, I'll never believe a madman till I see his brains.
But I will help you to it.
I'll request it in the highest degree, I prithee be gone.
This is the air. That is the glorious sun. This jewel she gave me. I do feel it, I do see it. It is wonder that enwraps me thus. It is not madness. Where is Antonio then? I could not find him the elephant, yet there he was, and there I found this credit that he had arranged a town to seek me out. This counsel might now do me golden service. For though my soul disputes well with my sense that this may be some error, and not madness. Yet so far does this accident and flood of fortune so far exceed all instance, all boundaries, that I am willing to distrust mine eyes and wrangle with my reason that persuades me that either I am mad, or else the lady's mad. No. Yet if it were so, she would not be able to command her house, sway her followers, take and give back affairs in their dispatch with such smooth, discreet, and stable bearing as I perceive she does. There's something in it which is deceivable. But here the lady comes.
Blame not this haste of mine. If you mean well, now go with me and with this holy man into the chantry by. There, before him and underneath that consecrated roof, plight me the full assurance of your faith, that my most doubtful soul and too jealous heart may live at peace. He shall conceal it, whiles you are willing it shall come to note. At what time will our celebration keep according to my birth? What do you say?
Madam, I will follow this good man and go with you, and having sworn truth, ever will be true.
Then lead the way, good father, in heaven's sunshine, that we may fairly note this act of mine.
Now as thou lovest me, let me see his letter. Lord Master Fabian, grant me another request.
Anything.
Do not desire to see this letter.
This is to give a dog, and in recompense desire my dog again.
Belong you to the Lady Olivia, friend?
Aye, sir, we are some of her trappings.
I know thee well. How dost thou, my good fellow?
Truly, sir, the better for my foes and the worse for my friends.
Just the contrary, the better for thy friends.
No, sir, the worse.
How can it be?
Marry, sir. My friends praise me and make an ass of me. Now my foes tell me plainly that I am an ass. So that by my foes I profit in that knowledge of myself, and by my friends I am abused. So truly, sir, conclusions to be as kisses. If your 4 negatives make your 2 affirmatives, then the better for my foes and the worse for my friends.
That is excellent.
Not so, sir, though it would please you to be a friend of mine.
Thou shalt not be the worse for me. There's gold.
Oh, that it were double dealing, sir. I would you could make it enough.
You give me ill counsel.
Put your grace in your pocket, sir, and for once let your flesh and blood obey it.
I'd much rather be a sinner than a double dealer. There's another.
Primo, segundo, secondo. Tertio is a good play, and as the old saying goes, the third pays for all. The triplet, sir, is a good tripping measure, and the bells of St. Bennet may put you in mind. 1, 2, 3.
You can fool no more money out of me at this throw. If you will let your lady know I am here to speak with her and bring her along with you, it may awake my bounty further.
Marry, sir. Lullaby to your bounty till I come again. I go, but I would not have you think my sin of having is one of covetousness, but As you say, sir. Let your bounty take a nap. I shall awaken anon.
Here comes the man, sir, that did rescue me.
That face of his I do remember well, yet when I saw it last it was besmeared, as black as Vulcan in the smoke of war. A bobbling vessel was he captain of, with which escapeful grapple did he make the most noble bottom of our fleet, that even envy and the tongue of loss cried fame and honor unto him. What's the matter?
Orsino, this is he who took the phoenix and his fraught from Candy, and this is he who took the tiger boy, and this is he who, when your young nephew Titus lost his leg, in private brabble did we apprehend.
He did me kindness, sir, drew on my side, but in conclusion, put strange speech upon me. I know not what 'twas, but distraction.
Notable pirate, thou saltwater thief, what a foolish boldness has brought thee to thy mercies, whom thou, in turn so bloody and so dear, hast made thine enemies.
Orsino, noble sir, be pleased that I shake off these names you give me. Antonio was never yet thief or pirate, though I confess on base and ground enough Orsino's enemy. A witchcraft drew me hither. That most ingrateful boy there by your side, who seized enraged and foamy mouth did I revere. A wreck past hope he was. His life I gave him, and did there to add my love without retention or restraint, all in his dedication. For his sake did I expose myself, pure for his love, into the dangers of this adverse town. Drew to defend him wherein I was beset, where, upon being apprehended, his false cunning, not meaning to partake with me in danger, taught him to face me out of his acquaintance, and grew a 20 years removed thing while one would wink.
How can
Denied me my own purse, which I had recommended his use not a half hour before.
How can this be?
When came he to this town?
Today, sir, and for 3 months before, no interim, not a minute's vacancy, both day and night did we keep company.
Here comes the Countess Olivia. Now heaven walks on earth. But, fool, thy words are madness. For 3 months this youth hath tended upon me. More of that anon. Take him aside.
What would my lord that he may not have? Cesario, you do not keep promise with me.
Good madam?
Countess Olivia.
What do you say, Cesario?
My lord would speak, my duty hushes me.
If it be aught the old tune, my lord, it is as fat and fulsome to mine ear as howling after music.
Still so cruel?
Still so constant, lord.
What to perverseness, you uncivil lady, whose ingrate and unauspicious altars my soul, the faithfulest offerings have ringed out that ear devotion tendered? What shall I do?
Would it please, my lord, that shall become him?
Why should I not? I have the heart to do it, kill what I love. Oh, a savage jealousy that sometimes savors nobly. But hear me this. Since you two non-regardeds cast my faith, and since I partly know the instrument that screws you from my place in your true favor, this, your minion whom I know you love, by heaven, I swear I tender dearly him, I will tear out of that cruel eye where he sits crowned in his master's spite. Come with me, boy. Oh, my thoughts are ripe in mischief. I will sacrifice the lamb I do love to spite a raven's heart within a dove.
And I most jocund, apt and willingly to do you rest 1,000 deaths would die.
There goes Cesario.
After him I love. More than my life, more than these eyes, more by all mores than air, I shall love life.
I me detested. How am I beguiled?
Who does beguile you? Who does do you?
Has it been so long? Hast thou forgot thyself? Call for the Holy Father.
Come away.
Whether my lord Cesario, husband, say.
Husband.
Aye, a husband, can he that deny?
Your husband. Sirrah.
No, my lord, not I.
Not, Cesario, take thy fortunes up. Be that thou knowest thou art, and that thou be as great as that thou fearest. Oh, welcome, Father. Father, I charge thee by thy reverence, here to unfold what lately intended to keep in darkness, what occasion now reveals before 'tis ripe. What thou dost know hath newly passed between this youth and me.
A contract, the eternal bond of love,
but 2 hours.
Thou dissembling cub! What wilt thou be when time hath so a grizzle on thy case? Or else thy craft so quickly grow, that thine own trip shall be thine overthrow. Farewell, take her. Direct thy feet where thine and I henceforth may never meet.
My lord, I do protest!
Do not swear the little faith, for thou hast too much fear.
Ah, for the love of God! Virgin, send one presently to Sir Toby.
What's the matter?
Has broke my head across and has given Sir Toby a bloody coxcomb. For the love of God, your health! Oh, I would rather than 40 pounds I were at home.
Who has done this, Sir Andrew?
The Count's gentleman, one Cesario. He's the very devil incarnate.
My gentleman's son?
Oh, likely, there he is. You broke my head across for nothing, and for that I did, I was set upon to do it by Sir Toby.
Why do you speak to me? You drew your sword upon me, but I mistake you fair and hurt you not.
Why, if a bloody coxcomb be a hurt, you have hurt me. I believe you said nothing by a bloody coxcomb. Come, Sir Toby, well then, you shall hear more. But if he had not been in drink, he would have tickled you other gates.
Gentlemen, how is it with you?
That's all one. Has hurt me, and there's the unlimited. Sot! Did she dick surgeon Sot?
He's drunk, Sir Toby.
Well, then he's a rogue, and a passy measures pen. I hate a drunken rogue.
Away with them! Who hath made this havoc with them?
Come with me, Sir Toby, I'll help you, because we'll be dressed together.
Oh, will you help? An asshead, and a coxcomb, and a knave, a thin-faced knave! Go!
Get him to bed and let his hurt be looked to.
My lady, I've heard your kinsman. But had it been the brother of my blood, I could have done no less with wish or safety. You throw a strange guard upon me, and that by that I do perceive I have offended you. Pardon me,
One face, one voice, one habit, and 2 persons. A natural perspective that is and is not.
Antonio, oh my good Antonio, how the Arthur Brachman tortured me since I have lost thee.
Sebastian, are you?
Fearest thou that, Antonio?
Have you made division of yourself? An apple clef in 2 is not more twin than these 2 creatures. Which is Sebastian?
Most wonderful!
Why stand there? I never had a brother. I had a sister whom the blind waves and surges had devoured. Charity, what ken you to me? What countryman? What name? What parentage?
Of Messalene. Sebastian was my father. Such a Sebastian was my brother too. So went he suited to his watery tomb, and spirits can assume both form and suit, you come to fright us.
Spirit I am indeed, but in a dimension grossly clad from which the womb I did participate. Were you a woman as the rest goes even, I should let my tears fall upon your cheek and say, thrice welcome, drowned Viola.
My father had a mole upon his brow.
And so did mine.
And died that day when Viola from her birth numbered 13 years.
Well, the record is lively in my soul. He finished indeed his mortal act the day that made my sister 13 years.
Nothing less to make us happy but this, my masculine usurped attire. I am Viola.
And so, my lady, it seems you have been deceived by your nature and a biased ruin that you have been contracted to a maid. Nor are you there. Contracted both to a maid and a man.
Be not amazed. Right noble is his blood, and if this be so, as the glass seems true, share in this most happy wrack. Thou hast said to me 1,000 times, thou shalt never love a woman like to me.
And all those sayings will I overswear, and all those swearings keep us true in soul.
Give me thy hand, and let me see thee in thy woman's weeds.
Hath my maid's garments. He upon some action is now in suit at Malvolio's, a gentleman and follower of the ladies.
He shall enlarge him. Fetch Malvolio hither. Alas, poor gentleman, now I remember, they say he's much distract. A most extracting frenzy of mine own, from my remembrance, clearly banished his. Oh, how does he, sirrah?
Truly, madam, he holds Beelzebub at the stave's end as well as any man in his case may do. Has he written a letter to you? I should have given it to you today morning. But as madmen's bizzle are no gospels and skills not much when they're delivered.
Open it and read it.
Okay. Listen to me, well edified, madam. Wait,
By the Lord, madam!
How now art thou mad?
No, I would read madness. And your ladyship shall have it as it ought to be. You must allow
Prithee, read I thy right wit.
So I do, madam, but to read in his right wits is to read thus. Therefore, prepend, my princess, and give ear.
Read you, sirrah.
By the Lord, madame, you wrong me, and the world shall know it. Though you've put me into darkness and given your drunk cousin rule over me, yet have I the benefit of my wits as well as your ladyship. I have your own letter, which induced me to the semblance I put on, with the which I doubt not to do myself much right or you much shame. Think of me as you please. I leave my duty a little unthought of and speak out of my injury, the madly used Malvolio.
Did he write this?
Aye, madam.
See him delivered, Fabian. Fetch him hither. So please you, my lord, these things for your thought on, to think me as well as sister, as a wife. One day shall crown the alliance on it here, so please you, here at my house and at my proper cost.
Madame, I am most apt. Embrace your offer. Your master quits you, and for your service done him so much against the metal of your sex, so far beneath your soft and tender. Since you called me master for so long, you shall from this moment be your master's mistress.
A sister, you are she. How now, Malvolio?
Madam, you have done me wrong, notorious wrong.
Have I, Malvolio?
Lady,
no.
You have. Pray you peruse that letter. You cannot now deny it. It is in your hand. Write from it if you can, and handle phrase as it is not your seal, not your invention. You can say none of this. Well, grant it then, and tell me in the modesty of honor. Why have you shown me such clear lights of favor, bade me come smiling and cross-gartered you to put on yellow stockings and to frown upon, so Toby the light to people and acting in an obedient hope? Why have you suffered me to be imprisoned, kept in a dark house, visited by the minister, and made the most notorious Gekingol that invention e'er played on? Tell me why.
Alas, Malvolio, this is not my writing. Though I confess much like the character, but out of question 'tis Maria's hand. And prithee be content. This practice hath most shrewdly passed upon thee. But when we know the grounds and authors of it, thou shalt be both the plaintiff and the judge of thine own cause.
Good madam, hear me speak, and let no quarrel nor no brawl come to taint the condition of this happy hour which I have wondered at. In hope it shall not. Most freely, I confess, myself and Toby did set this device against Malvolio here, against some stubborn and uncourteous parts we had conceived against him. Maria wrote the letter at Sir Toby's great importance in recompense whereof he hath married her. How but sportful malice, it was followed, may rather pluck on laughter than revenge, if that the injuries we justly weigh that have on both sides passed.
Alas, poor fool, how have they baffled thee?
Why, some are born great. Some achieve greatness. But some have greatness. Thrust upon them! I was once, sir, in this
such a barren rascal, madam, and you smile not, he's gagged. And thus, the whirligig of time brings forth its revenges.
I'll be revenged on the whole pack of you.
He hath been most notoriously abused.
Seek him out and entreat him to a peace. He hath not told us of the captain yet, and when that is known and golden time convents, a solemn combination shall be made of our two souls. Meantime, sweet sister, shall not part from hence. Cesario, come, as you shall be known while you are a man, but when in other habits you are seen, Orsino's mistress and his fancies